Hey, I'm Diane. I have 11 mistakes that I personally know of that people forget when they're buying or building a tiny home. I have a list. The first one is underestimating the space that you're going to need for different things. Of course, you have to know where you're going to put your clothes and your shoes. That one I forgot about. But I made a plan and figured it out. But do you have room for all your cookware? Do you need all your cookware? How many plates do you really need when you move in a tiny home? Where are you going to put your broom and your little step ladder? Not to mention your toolbox. All those things have to have a home, have to have a place. Do you have a hobby? Where are you going to put that stuff? It all matters. You got to think it through. You have to think through every detail of it, or you're not going to be content. Number 2 is forgetting about the local regulations. You got to know if you can even put a tiny house in your area and what the stipulations are. All you have to do is make one phone call, and they will tell you everything you need to know. And you can't try to hide it from people, like put it in the woods and on somebody's property if they let you, but don't tell anybody. But if it's not legal there, it's just not legal. You have to check all of that out. The third thing is privacy. Now, if you're by yourself, there is no problem. You can walk around nude. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. But if you got a mate, or if you're a single parent with a child, you have to think about your individual privacy and how that would be achieved. I have things in place. For instance, when I'm gone and my daughter might rent this out as an Airbnb, my bed, I have no doors except 2 barn doors. But in the bedroom, I have a curtain you can pull for privacy if someone is staying here in the bedroom on both ends, on both bedrooms. You have to think about the privacy issue. No matter how much you love your mate, everyone needs privacy at some point. Okay, number 4 is neglecting proper insulation. You have to insulate it just like you're insulating a home. Be sure and get around windows. The ceiling is very important. That's where it gets the hottest. All of that matters. On my windows, I had the guys that put them in to spray great stuff around them and then trim it off, because it really cuts down on the air seeping through, hot or cold. So my windows are tight. Okay. Forgetting about other storage solutions that might not even be thought of, like Afghans. Where are you going to put those? You're just going to pile them up on the couch? I personally believe that the furniture in a tiny home should be serviceable for storage of things like that. Like your knitting supplies, things like that. You have to have a place. I have dog food and cat food in a picnic basket that just sits in the kitchen floor. But who would think that? No one. I know you can't see, but right here is a dog crate, which I occasionally need, so I keep it around. But it is packed full of my paintings because I ran out of places to put them. Now, if y'all know me, I'm about to quit sewing. My sewing workroom will be gone in 4 weeks, and I am going to put my painting room in there. So all of these will come out and go on shelves or on the wall. Because I love my paintings, I want them displayed. So the dog crate will be available to put a dog in again. But just crazy things. Baskets are full of lots of things. I keep water in one basket under a desk type piece of furniture. Okay. Some people cut corners on building supplies, which is probably not a good idea. If you were building a regular home, would you do that? Probably not. If you want your house to last, your tiny house to last and endure as you live through your life, you have to use quality things. Now, I did use plywood, thin plywood, cut into 8-inch strips for my wall so that it would look like shiplap. Now that is cutting corners, but I love the way it looks. I like the way that it feels old, like it's been here a while, like some old person built it a long time ago. I do like that, so I have no problem with. I did save a lot of money by doing that. I actually did. Okay, thinking about where you're going to put your tiny home. How much is the rent going to be? Have you thought about that? If you go to a lot somewhere where tiny houses can be placed, you're going to have rent. I have heard of $650 a month. To me, that sounds steep. But I live in northern Alabama. What do I know? Other places, maybe $1,000. There's a place in Tennessee I know that is like $200. Now that sounds reasonable to me, unless they're furnishing water and, of course, septic. You would think that would be included in any of those charges. But you have to figure all of that out. It's just not as simple as, ooh, let's move in a tiny house. Let's go buy one that's already built. Okay, now what? Where do you put it? Where do you put all your stuff that's in your other house? You have to think about it and downsize, and it takes a few months to do all of that. No regrets here. I would do it all again. And number 8, underestimate how much it costs to actually move your tiny home. To take it to its final resting place. It can cost thousands of dollars, depending on where you are and where you're moving it. I had to move my shed from the house next door where I lived down to my daughter's backyard. Now, if all of y'all know and watch my videos, you know that I have a grandson that was killed by a drunk driver. And that was just like 2 or 3 years after that. And everyone is so kind to Ashley. They just do all kinds of things for her. So she put it on Facebook. Who can move a shed for my mom? Well, that's all it took. Someone called, Ashley, I'll move it and I won't charge anything. So I paid nothing to get mine moved. And he came back when I was ready to start it. And I put down a bed of gravel. Then he placed it up on the gravel for me so that it could begin to be worked on and finished as a home. I was lucky in that regard. Okay, number 9. Forgetting about the cost of electrical, water, and a sewage connection. We're talking about the connection of it. Somebody's gonna charge you, depending on your location, the price. I live in North Alabama. Things do not cost that much here. But I'm sure northern states, things are much, much more. I sell Roman shades online. There are people in the north that will pay what I ask online. No problems. But in my area, I don't think there's many people that would pay what I ask. I don't think so. I mean, it just depends on where you live. In California, oh my God. You people who live in California, I don't know how you afford it. I really don't. Okay, back to what I'm talking about. Electrical, you have to put up a pole, has to have service on it. All of that costs money. You just can't hook it up to a pole that's already there and hope that it works. That's not the way it works. You have to have your own service so that it can register how much electricity you use so you can pay for it. And the water, it does cost money to run the water, usually from a road, a county road, if you're out in the county. But if you're moving on one of these lots, I'm sure it would be a lot cheaper. But you got to think about all of that. Number 10. You have to be aware of the septic situation before you build your tiny home. You've got to decide on the toilet before you build it. And you got to know where it's going before you build it. You do not build the house first. You get all the other details worked out and decided upon. Then you start building your tiny house. People sometimes have that in reverse. It's a novel idea. It's a nice idea to move into a tiny house. But you got to figure out all the surrounding details first. Okay, then you have to consider, am I going to live here forever? Or am I going to resell this at some time? Is it going to sell for what I've got in it, like a home would, and appreciate or depreciate? Now that's going to be up to you as how you take care of your tiny home. You have to take care of it just like you would your home. When something breaks, fix it. You need roof repair, fix it. I have 10 roofs, which I'm so thankful for. I love the sound also. Okay, as far as personally, I guess I made 4 mistakes that I wished I could have changed. I put my mini split at the end of my shed, which is 40 foot long. I shouldn't have done that. I did that because I was going to be working in that room every day. But then at night, my bedroom's hot. You know, in the summertime. And cold in the winter. But that's okay. I don't mind that. But I should have put it in the center of the house to keep it kind of regulated. The same coolness and heat throughout. That was a mistake. I later got another one just on the other end of the house. So everything's okay. But that was a mistake. I bought a combo washer dryer. Buyer beware. If you like your clothes to come out wrinkle free, then you do not want a combo washer and dryer. No. Everybody says, oh, they work fine, they're okay, whatever. No, they're not. If I had it to do over again, I would use a stackable. I would, absolutely. I was concerned about having a vent, so the combo doesn't have to have a vent to the outside. That's why I chose that. And I even am on my second one, and I had to still buy the combo because I don't have a vent outside. So it's too late for all that. So don't buy that unless you just have to. The other mistake was buying a plug-in toilet, incinerator toilet. I did not like that. I've made a video on that. I don't like it. I used it for 2 years and then went to a composting toilet and then later to a flushing toilet. So if at all possible, try to do the flushing toilet because that's what most people want anyway, especially if you have guests. They don't have to say, how do you use this toilet? So, and the other little thing was the refrigerator. I have an apartment refrigerator, and the freezer is on top, which means I have to bend way over when I'm looking for stuff in the fridge. And if I just reversed it and got the freezer on the bottom, oh my gosh, that would have been so much simpler. But I'm living with my mistakes. They're not huge. They're not monumental. They do not bother me. I'm just saying I thought I had everything figured out because I thought about it for over 2 years. Drew it all out. Started getting rid of all my stuff that I wasn't going to use. And I kept everything that I love that you set around. And I have too much. And pretty soon I'm going to be minimalizing that as soon as I quit work. But anyway, these are mistakes that you have to think about before you build your tiny home. There's no other way to live if you ask me. I love it. I love it. I'm thinking you will too. I'm going to let you go. Love's coming your way.